Hi, it's me again, Mike Britton from ArtAcademy.com, and today I want to talk about the importance and the many benefits of really loosening up with your drawing when you begin a painting. Now, a couple of years ago, I was in Paris, and it was the first Sunday of the month, and that's when the D'Orsay is free admission. So I figured I'd save myself a few euros and go visit my friends, go see Delacroix and Van Gogh and Monet, Manet, Courbet, all the guys and gals that I grew up with. Well, everyone else in Europe had the same idea. And that line stretched all the way to Barcelona. I exaggerate, but not that much. And I looked at that line and I thought to myself, no, I'm not going to waste half a day standing in line to get into a super crowded museum filled to the brim of selfie takers. And so I went for a walk and I remembered, oh yes, there's this tiny little museum, the Delacroix Museum. There was his former studio. And so I thought, well, it's a free day. I'll save myself the €5 admission. And so I went. And it was empty. There was just a few other people strolling about the grounds. And right at the top of the stairs, wham! The study, the initial conception for Delacroix's masterpiece, Liberty Leading the People, from 1830. And what struck me is that here we are, 200 years later almost, and this painting is still fresh as a biscuit. And what struck me most was just how loose Delacroix's initial striking, his initial drawing was. And that was, to me, an epiphany, a revelation. For many years before then, I'd always begun a painting with a well-rendered drawing. Even though I would begin with a brush, I would still work out each and every little form. I think it was mostly a lack of confidence in myself, to be honest. But the problem with that is one quickly falls into more of an illustrative manner of painting than a painterly approach. Of course, painterly is far, far superior. And so then I trained myself to start working with a long-handled brush. Now you can buy long-handled brushes. They're the Escoda classical brushes. Fortunately, I'm separated from my Escodas at the moment. But what you can do is, with a regular brush, is attach a brass or an aluminum tube to it, fits snugly over the handle, tape it into place, and you got yourself a nice long-handled brush. And this one is about 50 centimeters from tip of my bristle to the end. And I always hold it at the end of the handle. And what this long-handled brush does, this gives me a greater distance from the canvas. And that greater distance allows me not only to effect a much looser brush stroke, but also enables me to better see proportion and the angles. Well, since I opened that door, what is drawing? At its root, it's simply a matter of establishing the height to width proportion, a rectangle, and if you can tell time, you can get the angles. That's all it is. You train yourself to see height, width, proportion, and then as you carve out the head from that rectangle, you ask yourself, is that a 5 o'clock angle? Or is that a 4 o'clock angle? 4:30? 4:15? And when you get better at it, is that a 417-24 angle? You can get very, very precise at it. Hardly anyone is born with that skill. We all have to acquire it. And I teach that skill in my beginning to draw workshops. That's available at artacademy.com. But most importantly, I want to get into Rembrandt and Rembrandt's lovely self-portrait of himself laughing. Now, you cannot capture these fleeting emotions, these joyful expressions with a highly resolved drawing. You can't. It's going to look creepy. It's going to look weird. It's going to look stiff. And frankly, what's the most important thing of a painting? Your drawing, your color, your composition. Well, those are the tools. The most important thing, well, other than unity and harmony, but even more important is expression. That's what it's about. That's the root. We want to express the who and the what we are. The who and the what at a specific point in time. And that's where drawing to loose in your paintings is going to pay you magnificent dividends. So go out there, get yourself a brass tube, attach it to your brush handle, hold it at the end. Now it's going to feel weird in the beginning because it's new, but in no time at all, you'll find yourself drawing looser and actually more accurately.